One of the biggest misconceptions people have about freedom is that they think freedom is the absence of anxiety, pain, fear, discomfort. That's not freedom. That's dependency on emotional conditions. People let temporary emotional states dictate permanent behaviors. They wait to feel motivated before they begin. They wait to feel confident before they speak. They wait to feel fearless before they act. But if you wait for the perfect emotional condition, you will be enslaved by your nervous system. You will be enslaved by your own emotions. True freedom begins the moment you realize that you can experience discomfort and still act in alignment with the person you choose to become. The freedom principle is very simple. You don't eliminate the state, you simply stop obeying it. So you don't refuse your emotions, you refuse to let emotions dictate your behavior in the world. If you feel anxious, you still speak. If you feel fatigued, you still train. If you feel uncertain, you still execute with precision. This is key, because what you do now is that you separate emotional turbulence from self-command. When you over-identify with your emotional state, what ends up happening is you fuse your emotional state into your sense of self, your self-concept, and then your emotional state itself becomes your identity architecture. Your behavior then starts orbiting around emotional survival as opposed to conscious execution. But emotions are temporary. Your identity is something far deeper. It is the operating system underneath each of your decisions. And so your decision-making ability must be greater than how you feel. This requires decoupling from how you feel, your emotional state, and who you really are, the one that executes, the one that's in full control of yourself. You know, when people say, I'm an anxious person, instead of saying I experience anxiety from time to time. When people say things like I am a failure, I am unworthy, I am unsure of myself, I am unlovable, what they're doing is they're fusing their internal discomfort with their sense of self. This causes lack of power and a total breakdown of self-integrity. But when you decouple emotional turbulence from self-command, you gain a superpower, a quiet confidence, not performative, not ego, calm, quiet confidence that you prove to yourself repeatedly over time by showing yourself that you are not a slave to your emotions. You are able to prove to yourself that emotions and discomfort don't dictate your behavior. You're able to act and execute despite them. Think of somebody experiencing stage fright or social anxiety. Their voice is shaking, their hands are trembling, and they still speak. People think that confidence should come before action, that confidence determines success. But true freedom is the ability to be of service to yourself, execute on your goals despite discomfort. That is confidence, is to own your emotional state and override it with correct action while the state exists. Not deny it, but don't let it take full operational control of yourself. When you do that, you gain self-command and mastery over yourself. And that is freedom. Full executive control of your nervous system, of your identity, and ultimately your life.